Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Catching Up. I'm your host, Jack Smith, joined today by Stephanie Sifferman from the swimming and diving team. Thank you for joining us today, Stephanie.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
So, swim's obviously an important part of your life and of your high school career, but you actually told me it was a large part of your decision to come to Mitty. Can you explain that further?
Yeah, Mitty is known for their really, really great women's team. I was looking at a couple other high schools, public, and I was also looking at a couple Catholic schools in the area, and they just didn't have the same caliber of athletes on their swim team. So it was like a big, big part of my decision to go to Mitty because there were other really great schools, but they just didn't have the same powerhouse team.
What do you think makes Mitty Swim, especially on the female side, a powerhouse team?
We have really, really great athletes that work super, super hard. We have awesome coaches who are really, really great at training the athletes, and we just are really, really close with each other. So we just cultivate a really great environment.
What were some of the reasons that you were confident that you could come in as a freshman and be a part of that environment and be one of those athletes?
Yeah, I had multiple friends in the team already prior to me coming to Mitty. I knew the coach from meetings on open houses and just at swimmings in general. And I watched them compete at CCS when my brother went for Bellarmine. And I just knew that I could be a part of that.
And then obviously, or like you told me, your freshman year was full of highs and lows. Could you describe both the highs and the lows from your freshman year?
Yeah, freshman year was really interesting. I hit it off with a bang. I got a black eye from my tryout by crashing into Annika in a 500 free. So that was a great way to start the whole season off. And then I immediately got bronchitis. And I ended up having bronchitis 3 different times, and that was during the whole entire dual meet part of our season. And so I didn't do well during that. I wasn't on any of my times, but I swam well enough to qualify for CCS, and I was healthy enough by CCS to make finals. I placed ninth in the 200 free overall and eighth in the 100 free, and I ended up being able to qualify for states in those events and also in a couple of relays with my teammates. And I was able to compete at states, which was really, really great, especially for a freshman. There weren't a whole lot there, and it was kind of intimidating. And I was able to final at states, which means, you make top 16 out of the top 40 in California. And I was able to compete at that level with a bunch of seniors, a couple girls on the US national team. It was really, really a great experience.
What did that mean to you to be able to go to states and place?
It was awesome. I had no idea I was gonna be able to do that. I had, like, heard so many things about states, and I was so overwhelmed when I got there, and the coaches really guided me through it, and they were so, so sweet, and, the senior team captain, Sophia Sebastian, at the time was really, really great with me, and she just guided me through the whole process as well as Jason Yep and my friend Steffi Bies only just talked me through it, and it meant, like, so much to me. I felt, like, so amazing with my mom there, like, in the stands and all the people watching and, my coaches behind the blocks cheering me on and all my teammates. It was like one of the greatest moments of my life.
And how were you able to get there, with the lows? What willed you through those lows that eventually allowed you to succeed at the end?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Miller was really, really great about it. Every time I swam poorly, he's like, "It's okay. You're gonna come back and you're gonna be better the next meet." And I wouldn't do well the next meet. He's like, "It's okay. You're gonna be better the next meet." And then eventually I started to believe it myself, and I started doing better and better. And, it was really like when I was competing for my team, which was at CCS and it was at states, and I really felt like I need to be there for my team. And it was like, okay, it's go time. It's go time. You just gotta do it. And having like Miller, who supported me through the whole year and believed in me even when I was swimming super, super poorly, was really what drove it. He's been like a really big consistency in my life these past couple years. And he's been really, really awesome. And he's like a really understanding coach. So that was one of the big things because every time I would do poorly, he just said, "It's going to be okay. You're going to be better the next time."
And you must have been riding high after that happened. But then your sophomore season was canceled, unfortunately, due to COVID-19. Can you describe the impact that that had on you?
Yeah, it was really devastating. I I was really, really upset about it. It's something I look forward to the whole year. You just think, okay, we're gonna have our season. It's gonna be so amazing. You're gonna be with your teammates. you're gonna be competing for the team. It's gonna be so wonderful, and that just didn't happen. And we had senior day online, and it was so sad because I never got to see the seniors off. I never got to give them that last hug before they went off to college. I never got to do any of that, and that was so upsetting. And Manon played this really, really pretty slideshow, during that, and I just was so emotional because I was so upset that we didn't get that. We didn't get that whole experience of going to invitationals and going to dual meets and competing at CCS and being a part of a team. I just was really upset we didn't get to be a part of a team because I was really, really looking forward to that year.
And then what were some of the steps you took to combat the news after you found out?
Yeah, I kept in really close contact with a lot of the people on the team. I was calling them pretty often or texting them to make sure they were doing all right. Especially the seniors, I was constantly in contact with them to make sure that, they were okay and that, we were still close. I texted everyone to make sure they were okay. And a lot of it too is just being like, you know what, this is the way life is, and everybody's in the same situation and in the same boat. So it's the whole state of California. It's not just, unique to Mitty. So that was something I took a lot of solace in. It was just, it is the way it is. And that was kind of it. And it's just the thought that, you know what, it'll come back. Like, I'll be able to have a season eventually, whether that's this year or next year. We'll have a season eventually again. And it was just taking a step back and realizing that there are bigger things going on than just me having my sophomore season. It's not like it was my senior season. It's just there are bigger things going on.
And then moving into the off season, were you able to get into the pool and were you able to swim after, not being able to have a sophomore season?
No, I had a really, really hard time with that. I got into the pool about midway through June, I want to say. And it was for an hour a day, and that was unheard of in the area that I was in. And it was really early in the morning. And we were told it was going to progress. We would get maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, and maybe we'd go back to a full schedule, and we never did. And that was really upsetting when, I have friends across the US who swim who were getting, 2 hour practices. They were getting 2 practices a week. I mean, 2 practices a day. And so like multiple practices a week. And I realized, oh my gosh, this isn't working for me. And I realized about September after going an hour a day every day that it just wasn't working anymore.
So what did you do to fix that?
I looked into a lot of different programs across the U.S. in a lot of different states, and I called around and I found a program in Arizona I really liked, called Scottsdale Aquatic Club. And my grandmother, who lives in Mesa, is about 40 minutes away from the pool, and I thought, why not? Because the school's online, I won't miss class. I'll be able to swim. So middle of September, I decided on a Friday that I was just going to move. That Saturday, I packed up all my stuff in my car and we drove to Arizona. And I've been here since, and it's been it's been a really interesting experience. I'm like living in my grandmother's guest bedroom. I've been like, just traveling. I've been commuting to some practice, which is new for me. And it's been an experience. I've met a lot of cool new people, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of abrupt, but I've enjoyed it.
How is it like balancing, taking classes that are, occurring in California from Arizona, and then you being part of a swim in a different state than your whole team? How is that experience going for you, and how are you able to balance that and find a balance between Arizona and California where the school is?
Yeah, it's different, especially with the time change currently. It's been kind of weird trying to get to practice on time and try to balance everything out. My teachers have been like super understanding of everything just because of the way times end up working out. But it's been challenging because I can't drive to see my friends in California or try to, ask them something because of the time change. And it's been weird too because I'm trying to adapt and make new friends in a completely different place, and that's been really difficult. Especially because the online program in Arizona is a lot different than the online program at Mitty. It's a lot more lax, and it's a lot less um, formal. So that's been like something that has been weird to see, especially from like my coach's perspective, where I'm like, hey, I can't come because I have school, and it's like, but isn't that just online? And it's like, yes, but it's scheduled. And so that's been like kind of like a funny thing to realize is just a lot of states do a lot of things really different.
And then how has it been going with swim? How does it feel now that you found something that you can get in the pool and you found a spot for you when it comes to swim? How does that feel now?
It's awesome. It was I mean, the first practice, like, I was so happy because it's, like, it was the first time I'd gone for more than an hour in the pool, and I was so happy. I was, like, smiling the whole time, and it's been really, really awesome. It's, like, given me time to, like, appreciate the fact that, like, I really love the sport and, like, not being able to do it was really, really hard. And so every day I get in the water, I'm, like, really appreciative that, I have this opportunity, and though maybe I don't wanna get up super early to drive all the way there, I just have to, like, make the most of it, and that's been what has, like, been the biggest lesson for me, but it's been really, really great being able to actually get water time, which I just wasn't able to get in California.
I think that's how it works sometimes. Sometimes it takes a negative thing like a pandemic to cause you to realize how much you love something, including a sport. But do you have a plan as at the moment of when you're going to come back and when you'll kind of return to Mitty in California?
Yeah, if we have a season for swimming, I will 100% be back for that. I owe it to my team, they've been there for me through all the ups and downs that I've had, and I wouldn't miss that for the world. Our season starts around end of February, so I'd be back for that. Um, Based on what school's gonna be doing, I will maybe be back in January, just depending on if we're in person or not, because the state of California is in fluctuation right now with COVID, so it's hard to plan all those things out, but I wouldn't miss my high school season for the world, so I will 100% be back for that.
And then as we finish, focusing on the next season, what do you expect both from yourself personally and from the swimming team?
I'm really excited for this season. We have a bunch of amazing freshmen. So I'm really, really excited to see what they're gonna do on the male and female side of things because we got a really, really great class. And I'm really excited because, a lot of my friends are seniors and I can't wait to, give them like the best season. Um, as a team, I'm really hoping we're gonna place again at CCS. That is my goal. I would love to be a contributing member of that. I wanna take our relays to finals. I wanna go to states again. I would love to final again at states. Maybe instead of consolation finals, I'll be in top 8. That would be lovely. That would be my goal. And I really, really wanna get Mitty up there in the rankings at states, beyond just having one finalist at states. I wanna have 2. I wanna progress us further, and especially in our relays, I really wanna dominate on those, and I really wanna have those be major point scorers for us.
I think that's great. And then to wrap it up, we ask everybody the same question at the end. Is there anyone you want to focus on or anything you want to talk about before we wrap this episode up?
I just wanna focus on my coach on the team, Miller. He's been the most amazing coach, through all the ups and downs the past couple years have had for me and had for the team. He's just been a really solid constant, always supporting us, always having our backs, and he's always been a resource for me. I can email him out of the blue and say, "Hey, I need your help," and he's right away. He's there for me, and it's been really great. And all the other coaches are the same, and I've just been really, really appreciative of that.
That's amazing. And I wish you luck in Arizona. I wish you luck when you come back and your season starts. And I can't wait to see you get back in the pool along with the rest of the swim team. But thank you for coming and catching up with us, Stephanie.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.